right. Hi, everybody, and welcome to an episode of Breaking the Block. And I will let my co hosts introduce themselves. But if you don't know me, hi, I'm writer Sam Wicker. Welcome to my channel. I am a romantasy author and pro procrastinator and pro shiny things type of author because I have 70 projects in the works. And yeah, they are all definitely very, very shiny and distracting. And yeah, so Rach.
Oh, hello. I am Rach, or Rachel D. Adams officially. I am your feral author who does all kind of stuff. I've got aggressively helpful writing advice on Substack, along with other things coming along there. And we have, along with Dawn McClellan, um, I have seven books out now? Eight, if you count the pre-order. We're working through our Dragon Tasker universe, and I've got a bunch of extra fun stuff in the works for Arcane Realms Press in the future. So, take it up, Stephanie.
Hi, everyone. I know I haven't been here in a while. My name is Stephanie. I am a writer of mostly close romance and fantasy titles in there, and coming soon, I'll have I'll have a little bit spicy romance coming your way. Right now, technically, I have no books out because I'm in the process of using a different author name for everything. It is going to be Kira Mendoza because Mendoza is a family name, and so that's why I went with that. And so, if you look me up anywhere, I have nothing, but it will be soon. I wanted to start fresh, and so that's what I am doing. That's all you get from me right now. Maggie, you're up.
Hello, lovelies. Mama Maggie Ward here, independent author, stroke survivor, migraine overcomer, and one of the more prolific writers you've never heard of. I have almost 2 million words published, nearly 40 books. After my stroke, I decided that I had to relearn to write and relearn to use language because you don't realize how many words come out your mouth, come out your fingertips until you can't get any of them out. I started writing. I have not stopped. This month for Zombie Survival Awareness Month and the Zombie Survival Awareness Readathon, I am offering How to Become a Crazy Cat Lady to Survive the Zompocalypse for $2.99 for the entire month. That is half price. And yeah, happy scribbling to everybody. I hope we can help you figure out where you're at.
Yeah. Today we had a few questions pop up in our little Instagram chat about research. So we will be talking about researching today. And whatever questions that y'all might have in the chat as well. So if you have any questions, I'm sure I'll catch them, but just in case, mark them with a Q in the chat, just, in case I have like a squirrel moment. But yeah, so the first thing that we have, I'm going to say good morning to Eva. And there's a Rach, there's a Team Start, there's a Heather, there's a Cat Paw, there's a Dawn, Maggie pulling double duty, and I know there's a James. I was like, there's one more. All right.
Oh, I feel this allergy thing going on right now. It's like, you know what? The tree sperm, the plant sperm, that just needs to get out of the air. Nobody wants to breathe you. Go away.
Yeah. Since I've been outside more often because I do have a garden and flower beds going pretty strong right now. Yeah, I feel you. I'm coughing and sneezing nonstop. More so than normal, I might add. Okay, so since we are talking about research, nope, not that one. So there's a two-part question here. First one being, how much research do you do before a research trip? And the second part to that is, how do you research a place if you don't have much money, aka you can't really travel there? So who wants to take these first?
little money on research trips, unless I'm going to Pagosa, and even then I spend very little money because I share a timeshare with my brother. But mostly I cannot travel. It is not safe for me to travel. Every time I get on a plane, it risks the swollen area in my brain. So, um, um, what I do when I'm doing research and stuff is Google Earth Street View. Everyone's like, "Oh yeah," and you say, "No, I'm not kidding." Drop yourself in the middle of the town you want to research, and then just click and wander around the town like you're doing a walking tour.
Mm-hmm.
And now they've gotten so far on this that now they've got like side tours. You can like walk into buildings and look at like garden areas, tourist areas. My research on Nova Scotia was actually enough that people thought I had visited there. You can get that level of feeling from actually using Street View, doing these tours. You can find walking tour videos on YouTube of basically any place in the world nowadays. Type in the location, and there will be somebody walking around it talking about it. But location research is important, and it is actually worth the time investment if you go there in person or if you just do it virtually, because there are always people that will go, "That's not where that is in that town. That's not where," they ignore the fact that this is fiction, and they will point out things.
Yeah.
That's part of the reason I changed the town name to Whitley, because I use things from Chapel Hill, Raleigh, and Durham, and the surrounding areas kind of mixed together to make this fictional town or city. It's actually a city, but yeah, that's one thing you can do. Like if you're doing research for something and it's fiction, then you can kind of create your own town made of whatever places you've already been. So that helps out. I second everything that Maggie said. I created one area for a specific character. Her house is in New York on the island. She there's a specific Victorian home front that is on the front part of it, and then the rest of the block was an industrial. It was a bakery actually back in the day, and so I had all this research done through Google actually, and then you can look up archives about properties through libraries that are local to that area, and also municipal stuff. And what really geeked me out was when James was traveling as a consultant, we got the chance to actually go there. So I was able to, we didn't stop because New York, but I got to see all of the places that I used to write about, like Riverside Park and Washington Square. And then we went by that address actually, so I could visually see it. Like I was just, nobody else in the world cared, but I was like geeking out over it. So I would also say that when it comes to research, always have your bag ready. Like I have a bag that is my go-to bag all the time. It always has all of my, like a notebook in it. I've got my camera ready on my phone all the time. If I come across something interesting, I take a picture of it. I describe everything I can about it in my notebook, and that's going to become a future setting. So, that's how I do my impromptu research.
I feel like I kind of cheated with my world in my romance books because they're based in a town that I grew up in for like the first 15 years of my life. So a lot of like the different like bakeries or coffee shops were in the area. They might not be exactly where they are in the story itself, but the layout of the town and where the beach is and the different things like that. And some of the festivals and things that happen in that small town were accurate and very true. And so that's why the first town I made was the exact same name of the town, Rockaway Beach. But then when I started adding more towns, because I realized I wanted a library and Rockaway Beach didn't have a library, so I made the next town over in my brain was the next town over in real life, but then I gave it a new name because I didn't want to keep on like using the same name all over again or like same town names over and over again because eventually I'll like mess something up anyway because it's so long ago. And also a lot of people don't even realize that Rockaway Beach is a real town. I think it's off in New York, and then there's another one in Oregon Coast, and there's another one someplace else. There's like 3 Rockaway beaches in the United States, which I did not know that until recently. So for me, I found it helpful that my books are to take place in areas that I have visited or lived. I don't know what I would do if I was trying to make a story in Antarctica.
Well, I've never been to Baltimore. Cat Lady, the first third of Cat Lady is set in Baltimore. And I use Google Street View, Google Maps, Baltimore walking tours, virtual tours inside the Enoch Pratt Free Public Library. To the point that it's like when I describe like Babs having to drive from Mrs. Thorpe's house past Palmer Park and down and through Little Italy and all the way back to the Enoch Pratt Library in the downtown district, across from the Basilica and next door to the church. I describe it in good enough detail that people in Baltimore is like, "Hun, you're from here," and I'm like, "No, I've never been there. I just walked around the streets virtually." I want to go there. I really do want to go there. But yeah, never been there myself.
And, when I used to travel all the time, I would take a lot of videos and pictures. So sometimes I'll like watch some of my old videos and be like, oh, that'll be like a nice park to describe or a nice, I don't know, museum to describe or whatnot. But again, it's places I've seen in person firsthand. I hadn't thought about doing like virtual walking tours and using Google Street View. That's a neat way to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, if you know people that are in the area, because like this community, we're spread all over.
Just a smidge.
A little bit. So, like, if you know somebody, you know, like I would ask Maggie about some stuff in Colorado, you know, and I've been to Raleigh, but I've never lived like a little bit outside of it. So, of course, I would ask Rach, you know, about the between Raleigh and the beach area. Because I usually just pass through there. So yeah, if you know somebody and you think that they'll help you out, just ask them. They probably will. They'll probably tell you all kinds of stories. If y'all want to know about Murphy and Cherokee County and Macon County and the end of the world, then you can ask me. So, but other than that, I really like the idea of the whole Google Street View. Technology in this day and age has helped us a lot with research, like with that, but you know how the other side can go. So yeah,
And keep in mind when you're doing research about stuff, to be sure that it's if your story is going to be more recent, that your research is more recent. Having come from the Gulf Coast, and I do have stories that are based in the Gulf Coast, but they were all written pre-Katrina.
Yeah.
They were all written before there was like 3 major hurricanes that came through, especially on the barrier islands where a lot of my stories take place. So I'm having to go back and re-research before I publish that, because I'm ticky about, okay, well, if this is happening more recent, then I don't want to include stuff that's no longer even in existence.
yeah,
And there's a lot of historical maps and stuff like that online now too. And like I can't remember if it was Louis L'Amour or Zane Grey. One of the two of them used the old postal maps and notations whenever he wrote hundreds of books. So that like they could, and you know, it's like, I honestly, it's like I make the joke that those old dime store westerns were the first AIs, because they were all the same stories, only the names and locations had changed. And he would do that on purpose. He could crank out these stories with the main characters' names changed. The story, he had like 5 story plots that he used, but the reason they were so popular is because he could say, you wanted the characters to go, oh yeah, you go down to the creek and there's this tree that was hit by lightning and it's kind of all janky. And he would talk about that in his books. And the people who were reading that would be like, I've seen that tree. I know where that is. And it, using real world locations, even historic real world locations, like you're referencing the ruins that used to be a castle.
Yeah.
That triggers this sense of relatability that really reaches into something your readers don't realize they want, but it creates this sense of community with the reader. Because I've been there, I know where that is. I've been to the Shetland Islands and seen the Barringer Coastal on the eastern coast.
Yeah. The Bell Earth Witch, there is an ironwood tree that is a little ways off of a particular property that is huge, that I put in the Bell Earth Witch. That's her center. And there's also a pond that is overlooked by a brand new house. That's on private property too, so that's in there. And also the cell phone not working in the valleys. Yeah, that's real. That's so real. But Eva had a question for Stephanie.
Oh yeah, I did answer it in the chat, but here on YouTube, you can still keep calling me Stephanie. I did change my name on like my TikTok channel and Instagram, because I'll be like showing my books, you know, on screen and all that. But I'll probably just be like, hey, my name's Stephanie. I publish books under the pen name Kira Mendoza, that sort of thing. That's probably what I'll end up saying here on YouTube land. I mean, I'll probably have to get used to people calling me Kira, like in like book signing events, so that'll be weird. That's the only weird thing about it.
Yeah. We had somebody new come in. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I hope you enjoy our little chat. Another thing that I wanted to bring up about research, especially if you want to do like a particular cafe or something, a lot of cafes, a lot of bookstores, a lot of mom and pop stores will actually do a walkthrough video on like their TikTok or YouTube or something like that. So make sure to look up their social medias and use that walkthrough for reference.
Yeah. And like I said earlier, historical documents are amazing. Rachel was talking about how Katrina changed things. If you're writing historical fiction, I know someone online who writes World War II fiction. She's got this time traveler who is changing things in World War II, trying to tweak a few things. You have to, if you're doing Europe before World War II, the maps are completely different than anything after 1945. So, things, natural disasters, wars, earthquakes. I know that the San Francisco highway system changed after the earthquake in 89? 89? 90?
Was it 89 or 90?
It was 89 or 90. You don't, and like Japan, coastal Japan, after the 2011 tsunami, so much has changed. So much has changed. India is the same way after the tsunami. Pakistan, they have had several large earthquakes. Completely changed things. Mexico and Hawaii both have had volcanic episodes that have literally, in the last 2 decades, changed the terrain.
Yeah.
So be aware of the time you have when you're combining cities, overlapping the maps. Go ahead and make yourself a map, even if it's just on a napkin, because you don't want it to fall into that trap of turn left off Main. Well, everything is a left turn off of Main. How many people live on the left side of Main?
And also,
That's
it's
also
not,
why I picked a real town, because I was like, I need a real town that has a real map somewhere.
Yeah. yeah. And not even just natural disasters, it's just a natural movement of the earth. Take North Carolina's Outer Banks.
Mhm.
Yeah, we have a lot of hurricanes that change a lot of stuff, but there is just natural erosion where
Yeah.
houses have to be picked up and moved back or
The
something like that.
lighthouses.
Yeah.
They've moved
Yep.
5 of the Outer Banks lighthouses. They moved them a mile inland.
Mhm.
And I only know this because TDM and I went to speed run the Outer Banks lighthouses, and there was 4 of them that we couldn't go up in because they had finished moving them and were doing stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. So, in Helena, with the Appalachian Mountains, Asheville up through Virginia, Tennessee, it changed a lot. Chimney Rock has a whole new road. It had one main road down through that town, and they've had to shift it over. It was where the river was. So
Yeah, places that me and the girls went on it was a few years ago, but we went on vacation up through there, and Denise was just sending me pictures. She's like, "It's not there anymore," and I'm like, "What?" And yeah, we were just in shock because we go up through there whenever we get a chance, because it's so beautiful. But that just rocked us. I live, to give you perspective, I live within 40 minutes of the coast. And so for me, I love North Carolina in that you've got all different kinds of terrain that you can go through and visit and enjoy. So yeah, we expected to get hit hard. Like we were preparing. And then it's like Helene just jumped us and went right there into the mountains. And we were just like, what in the world is that?
See, I think about, like, I'm in the Rocky Mountains and we have like avalanches, but the other people don't realize is that the terrain here sheds water bad. And like 25 years ago, Glenn and I and our eldest, when she was a baby, lived in this little town called Jamestown that's up in the mountains above Boulder. And 10 years ago, we almost bought our rental there. We loved it so much that we almost bought our rental. But, but we didn't. And it turned out to be a good thing because they had one of those supercells just set over that valley and crank the rain. And half the town was literally wiped out. Our house was wiped out. The water was 12 to 14 deep coming down the canyon in some places. And so, yeah, it's amazing how much just a very short event can change the terrain of a place. Wildfires in Pagosa Cliffs, in the Pagosa Cliff series, I write about the wildfires and how they literally change everything because you can't stop them. You can't get ahead of them. All you can do is get out of the way when they're blowing up.
Yeah. And there's this too. So if you're overseas, sometimes there are sister cities. So I know Hickory, their sister city is in Germany. So they're supposed to be very similar. I don't know how that holds when Hickory's had like a whole downtown redone. I don't know if the one in Germany did that. So, yeah.
I think Colorado Springs has like 6 or 7 international sister cities.
Yeah.
We're from Birmingham, Alabama, so Birmingham, England is the industrial capital, and that's what Birmingham, Alabama was trying to be.
I have that book ready to read, sitting over there staring at me. The 11/22/63 by Stephen King.
There you go.
People kept on talking about it. I was like, oh, I'll give it a try.
I'm sorry.
Actually, open it.
County. I'm so sorry you've been to Gaston County.
Yeah, they're so funny. I found several TikTokers. Well, and I watch them on YouTube, but they are going through North Carolina and telling you about these places, and they're like, "You don't want to go here. Do not." Like they'll tell you about all the good, good and bad and the ugly, but it's just hilarious to me that they're just looking at you going, "But don't go there."
Yeah, it's like I really, really want to do a video of Murphy and be like, yeah, just don't go here after 6 o'clock in the afternoon or night. Stuff like
Well, it's
I mean, it
I
could
grew
be
up in-
afternoon if you're like.
I
if
grew up
you
in
stay up really
Texas,
late.
and I'm that way about Houston and San Antonio and Austin. I'm like, and Dallas. I'm like, just don't go here. Just I know that's where all the good restaurants and clubs are and stuff, but don't go there.
And that's usually the case. It's like the best stuff is the places that you're like,
Yeah, well,
"Do I really want to go?"
They do what's called urban revitalization.
Yeah.
And they do like 3 blocks, and then to get through those 3, you have to get through the not safe areas around them, the high crime areas around them. But it doesn't matter. All of San Antonio is high crime. I have never been to San Antonio when my car wasn't broken into, my hotel room wasn't broken into. I didn't watch a crime literally happen in front of me. San Antonio is beautiful, great music festivals, stuff like that. But yeah, no, the crime there.
My tough other portion is going, "Oh, it's not that bad."
Yeah,
I haven't.
the part of me that grew up,
They work around
part
it.
of me that grew up north of Houston is like, yeah. We drive through parts of Chicago. My husband, who lived in Illinois for years with his family, he's like, lock all the doors. I'm like, this isn't that bad.
Yeah, Chicago ain't that bad. Sections of Atlanta, now that I've been to Charlotte, it ain't that bad.
It's all perspective.
I was about to say it's all about perspective. Through.
Don't get me wrong, Charlotte is a beautiful city. There is a lot that a foodie can do in Charlotte. Do not get me wrong. But man, getting to Charlotte, no. And getting to the good places, no. Watch Stroker on YouTube for places in Europe. Awesome. Town I lived in for high school, it's square. It was always a square, but now it's also a Monopoly board. Mount Illinois, home of the creator of the Monopoly. They've turned their town into the game. Wow.
That's fun.
Yeah. That'd be pretty cool. Yeah. And Hurricane Sandy with New York City.
Okay, I just thought of something with the Twin Towers. Okay, this is where we go off on our usual breaking the block side tangent. Okay, sorry everyone. Okay, what do you think of them? Of not just the movie industry, but also authors and stuff going back to change their previously written work to take out places that have been destroyed. There is a copy circulating of the movie Deep Impact.
Yeah.
Where they took out the Twin Towers.
Well, I mean, it's just like people going back and like changing the names of stadiums or schools because you learn more about someone's past and history. Like at that point,
Yeah, but
in
in their books, in their books that are already written.
Right.
Like, how do you feel about that alteration of history, that editing of what the world was then?
I feel like if I wouldn't do it because at that time when I wrote the book, that's what it was.
Yeah.
If you're gonna go back and change every time something changed in history, then what if your books are set in like California and there's an earthquake? Does that mean that you have to go back and like change the landscape, the description? Or let's say like the Hollywood sign for some unknown reason came down because of some horrible earthquake or storm or whatever, you're gonna go back and like change it.
Yeah, and it depends on when it was published, because if it was published before then, you can literally look at the date that it was
Right.
published and see that the Twin Towers would have still been there.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
And then like what the projects that I'm working on, some of it takes place in the future and some of it takes place in the past. Well, the stuff that takes place in the past, I'm going to describe the landscape like it was when I was there and experienced it, because that was in the past. And so I don't see the point. I just don't see the point in changing it.
Yeah, I mean, you can't
So
just like pretend it didn't happen. Like, obviously, it happened, but like, why go back and change stuff? Unless like your whole gist of your book is going back and changing history, then change whatever you want. But if your story is set in like if your story is set in a world, in a real town, a real area, then don't just go back and change it just because something happened in the area. Something, I wouldn't change it, but that's just me.
Don't make the trolls
What do you
happy.
think
Make them angry.
What do you think about books that were written in the 90s, early 2000s, where they're changing like Apple, or not Apple, AOL to like WhatsApp?
What the heck?
What do you
why?
think, where they're going through and they're changing, instead of come over and watch this video with me, there's come over and we'll all watch Reels together, or we'll all watch TikToks together.
That's
It's like,
I wouldn't like
talking because
I wouldn't necessarily name like the specific like TikTok or Instagram or Facebook, because 20 years you don't know if that stuff's going to be here. Does that mean that the author is going to keep on changing whatever, like WhatsApp or Reels or Instagram terms every time if something else gets more popular? Because that's a waste. I feel like that'd be a waste.
To try to make it more relatable to younger readers.
So, I mean, you could do like
if you're doing something like a movie, like you're changing something from that happens all the time, by the way. If you find a story that is written in the I love saying this, the late 1900s, and you want to but you want to adapt it so that the movie, or even say you started with a manuscript. This is what we did. We started with a manuscript. It happened in the 1990s to 2000s. And we made the conscious decision that we wanted to change the dateline time up by 1 decade. And so it was like, okay, well then we're changing, because think about cell phones. We had to change the technology, but that's it. Like that was some of the stuff that you're talking about are like major things that I'm just like, I mean, if you're going to base it in the world, in our world, sure, make sure that your time frame, you've got the right technology for the time frame. But at the same time, if it's that work and you're not making a screenplay out of it, you're not adapting it for new viewers, then leave it as is. Because I mean, come on, I would love to be able to share my space with people these days, because that was just like a little magical moment in time when we could share our favorite things on a screen. And now everybody's gone to Facebook and they know what Facebook is. They don't know what Facebook was when it first started either, because that was a totally different creature.
Facebook then and Facebook now are completely different creatures.
Well, in one of my books, I wanted that at first it was going to be like a messaging board, like an online messaging board back and forth. But I was like, I don't want to have to worry. I don't want to have to I don't have to keep it up to date or whatever, and like remember like where you're going to access it. So then, since it was a small town, I decided it was going to be helpful, in quotation marks, helpful notes about stuff happening in the town, like on a message board, a bulletin board at the local post office library, like leaving notes like, "Ooh, I saw the person having coffee down the road. What are they doing?" That like those gossipy messages that people sometimes would say online, but now they're leaving notes back and forth about things that they see in the town going on in the public space, as a way to get away from using Facebook or using another social media thing.
Yeah.
I just make up an app.
So
I just make up an app.
Team Stark has a good point. It's like, remember that if you change the time frame, you have to change everything, not just
Yeah,
the technology for the time frame.
that's
Yes.
that's one of the points I was going to bring up too, because that seems like a lot of extra work when your book's already been out there, it's already been published, it's already physically in somebody's hand, or movie, or comic book, and you want to go back and change it and do like a reprint or something like that. It's just, I would rather work on one of my work in progresses than go back. This is just me as an
Yeah.
author. I'm not judging anybody, but like, I would hate to go back and do all of that work just because the towers aren't there, or Chimney Rock's Road is completely moved and there's like three restaurants that are missing, and it just, yeah, just leave it. Just leave it. It's fine. Let's see.
I'm pretty sure your readers are going to be focused on the relationships and the characters and everything, more so than anything else, especially when it comes to modern day stuff. The
Mhm.
relatability is there, but at the same time, like Sam said, that's a lot of work. And if it was already published, like ours was still a manuscript, we just had to come up with the idea of what time frame we wanted to use. But had it already been published, oh no, I don't think I would have gone back and changed
Yeah, it's
anything.
bizarre to me
But
that
Sam
they're
would have a
going
flip phone.
back and changing. They're going back and changing published books, and they're going back and digitally editing movies, and it's
Yeah.
like, they keep trying to
Why?
tell us that the Mandela effect isn't real, and yet they're putting so much work into making it.
Um, I mean, I kind of get it if, like, a lot of things have changed. Like, we always say product of the era, or product of the time, or product of the upbringing, or something like that. So if you have, I don't really want to make excuses for authors that have really bad things in their books, though, either. So it's almost like if they become a new person themselves and they want to change that kind of bigotry or racism or whatever that they wrote into their books, then more power to them. They're a new person now. Go for it. Teach your readers new things, kind of thing. But as far as like landmarks and our past, where we grew from writing on paper and pen, which everybody still does anyway, to writing everything on a laptop or a desktop or something, or on our phone, um, then it just, I don't know. That's too much. That's like trying to erase the growth that we've had.
Hmm.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know if that made any sense, but yeah.
It makes sense.
Okay.
I'm really tired, and it still made sense to me. So you're doing good.
Yeah, it's a weird thing of when does it become creative? Where is the line between creative license, revisionist history, and cultural erasure?
Mm,
Where does that grayscale fall? Where are you on that? Because it's not a black and white thing. It is just a big gray blob.
yeah.
It's like that thing your teacher made you do in art school where you put a blob of white paint on one end and a blob of black paint on the other, and then you did this.
Yeah. I actually can still log into my MySpace. It's scary. That was a
I
long time ago.
think I think I disconnect. I think I might have I disconnected my MySpace. I know that I no longer have the AOL. I've a cut like 5 years ago. I finally turned off the. I finally deleted my AOL that
Mm,
I had had since like 1986 or 7.
yeah. See, I've got this too. When I went through elementary and middle school, my school was the Ranger Rebels. Um, you can see how bad that is. Uh, and it was a uh, a soldier that was our mascot. Now they are the Timberwolves, which I am so pissed, because I always wanted to be a wolf, And after I graduated from there, they turned into wolves. But yeah,
We were the McCullough Highlanders, and when McCullough became the junior high or the middle school, and they built the new Woodlands High School campus, they kept the Highlander mascot. So we all still get to wear little tartan plaids and paint red and green on our faces and yell and do Highlander yells.
Nice. I don't remember. That's the good thing about it. I don't remember anybody from Ranger dressing up as a as that particular soldier.
Yeah.
So that was always good.
Yeah, there's 12.
Go ahead.
My high school had 4,000 kids in it, and the campus is now, it's basically a college campus with almost 20,000 kids rotating through one campus a day. The campus is a square mile. It's insane.
The tidal wave. Holy cow. I haven't been to Six Flags in St. Louis, but I went to Six Flags in Atlanta.
I used to buy season passes for Six Flags Houston, which is no longer there. The park is completely gone, and Six Flags Dallas Fort Worth, which is in Irving.
That used to be the summer thing for us, the Six Flags over Georgia.
Yeah. What about High Five? It's even older and more obscure than MySpace.
I'd have to be. I have no idea what that is.
I don't know what that is actually.
About High Five.
Wow. I used AOL, the chat and thread functions on AOL more than High Five.
Yeah, I did too. It was AOL and MS Messenger.
I did AOL and the Yahoo chat rooms.
Yahoo.
Yeah.
No. If I still had all my AOL chats, I have some of them, but if I had all of them, I would have like 50 extra books that I could publish.
Yeah, there are a lot.
Well, Dawn still has a bunch of hours, so, or at least according to her. So,
yeah.
Same way with emails, because we used to have our settings set where whenever we would post in the boards, we would get an email notification, and it would have the entire message on it. So
yeah.
I remember this from the book.
Yeah. Bombers. My papa and mama built it wasn't the B-52 bombers, but it was the I want to say it was B-56s. And they have a painting with their names on it that somebody stole. I have to track it down. A copy of it. My aunt and uncle and my cousin had a park in Houston. Yeah.
Yeah. MTV ended on December 31st was the last MTV. Hoorah. This year, I think MTV's gone.
Yeah. I know AOL went bye-bye. Was it this year or was it last year?
I think it was last year. The last dial-up.
That was it. The
last dial-up ended this year too.
Yeah.
Yeah. The future generations will never know the horror of having to sit through that sound.
Every time I
can hear that sound in my head just thinking about mentioning that sound. That
just mention it and it's there.
It's there, yeah. So
they talk about play a song to summon a generation. No, all you have to do is play up that dial-up sound.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. We're here. This is another thing. So every region is different. Since I grew up in the mountains, we were a little bit behind the times because North Carolina didn't realize that there is a whole, 10 counties beyond Asheville. So we got like everything as soon as the other schools got updated. We got the old stuff. So we were behind. We didn't get internet until we had like the AR reading program and stuff like that. We kind of had internet, but we didn't get like good internet that we could actually all be on the computers at the same time doing class until middle school. So yeah, it was like 7th or 8th grade too. Yeah, MTV playing actual music videos.
Wait, they did that? No, I'm kidding.
Oh, wait.
Yeah.
Before they became play stupid games, win stupid prizes TV.
Mm-hmm. That was horrific, especially if you had a voicemail on the landline.
So we had my mom had dial up at home, and so in AOL, but she was always online, always in the chat rooms, more so than me ever. But she always had the ringer off too, because she didn't want she always had the ringer off. So my friends just got in the habit of just like sitting down to watch a movie, and they would just like constantly let the phone ring for like hours sometimes until someone picked up the phone to like make a phone call or something, and then they would hang on the line.
Wow.
That was hilarious.
That phone call was a killer sometimes.
Like, you could just walk to my door. No. What if you're not home?
Because
Like,
we
whatever.
were and had been on a party line before we got individual lines, and that there was still bleed over. And you would be talking on the phone with someone, and someone else in your area would get on the internet, and you would have to listen through that sound. And you're like, okay, well, I guess we're done talking now because we're going to listen to the bleed over of their internet sounds the whole time we're talking.
Yep. Nails up and down a chalkboard. Yep. Do we have time for another research question, or do we need to go?
I'm good until 12:45. I've got to start my sprints at 12:45.
Okay.
I'm good for a little while. Hubby's not even moving yet. He miscounted the number of pieces of lumber he needs, so we have to go back to get more lumber to finish my new chicken barn. So
I'm going to need to go soon because I guess I should make these kids their pancakes.
Do you
tell them to cook it themselves?
All right.
Well, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be mixing it loudly to wake up my boy who's still sleeping. Like crack open the door and like put it together a little loudly.
Waft
I'm
the
sorry.
cooking smells into the room.
Exactly.
Mama, if she got mad at us about sleeping in, she would bang a spoon against the pan right over our heads.
Oh, no.
Ow.
She only did that like 3 times.
There was one time, and I won't tell you which two of the daughters did this. You can believe it or not. One of them threw a bucket of ice water into the bed of the other one. And their screaming woke the third one.
That hasn't happened here, thankfully.
The one who threw the water still has teeth marks from where the other one bit her.
I mean, you shouldn't fight people, but should you really be throwing ice water on them to wake them up?
Yeah, everyone says raising girls is easy.
No.
That's what's so funny. I was an only child, but I grew up with best friends that were sisters, and I'm telling you now.
I had sisters and brothers, and technically I was the adult in charge from the time I was like 6 years old because of our parents. I had brothers and sisters all younger than me. My brothers were hella easier than my sisters.
I tell people.
And the best thing about brothers is you can just throw them in the stock tank if they won't take a bath.
tell people if I had boys first, I've probably been like, yes, I'm gonna pretend to be a Mormon and like have 20 babies because boys are so much easier than girls, but girls are dramatic, very very dramatic.
And they work in the shadows against each other.
They do. I was very lucky because my next sibling was 11 years older than me. So, yeah.
So you almost had an only child experience.
Yes, I very much did. I mean, pretty much. My brother still tortured me all the time. But yeah, it was very different. He was big enough to toss me around at that time, so I kind of wish that he was a little younger so he wouldn't be that big. But whatever. All right. Stephanie, do you want to go ahead and do your outro, or do you want to wait like 15, 20 minutes?
I can wait 15, 20 minutes.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Next question. This is our fourth question, I think.
Yes, we went off on a tangent.
I'm sorry. Squirrel.
This goes well into that. How do you avoid going into a research rabbit hole?
Hey, here's the thing. You start researching, you are going to go down a research rabbit hole. There's not going to be any avoiding it. What you could potentially do, be like, okay, I'm going to research for 2 hours a day and that's it. Or give yourself a time limit how long you're going to research.
I pull up my boots, jump down the rabbit hole feet first. I have to set a timer because if I don't, I will be. And then it's like, oh, why is it dark outside? Oh, it's 8 o'clock. I haven't done chores yet.
Oops.
Yeah, James will come in here and he'll be like, so food? Was there food? Yeah. Did we want food today? Or
sometimes I'll be here researching stuff or working, and then I was like, I have a headache. Oh, I haven't drank any water today. I haven't moved. Why does my back hurt? Oh, that's my stomach growling, not the storm outside.
Why is my bladder the size of a basketball?
The good thing about going down research rabbit holes, though, is that sometimes you find things that you weren't expecting to find.
Yeah.
And those things can either inspire you or they can be something that you add to your story that you're going to use. So I wouldn't say, don't do it. I would not avoid a rabbit hole. It's just, making sure that you do pop out for your health. You do pop out, in time to get other things done that need to be done. So like Maggie said, make a timer, to remind yourself, hey, you were just going to look a little bit.
And if you're in the midst of writing and you need to look up a specific item, make yourself stick to that specific item, because you will lose an entire day. If you're looking up the wood of someone's desk in 1470, I need to know what the interior of this palace in the 1600s look like. Don't go from Palace of Versailles to looking at all of the neo-Gothic cathedrals in the entirety of France.
But they're so
just make it up and hopefully no one notices. It's fine. Just make it up.
You don't need to know about the fact that there were sections in all historic gardens. Now, there's only one still existing. I believe it's in England, the Poison Garden. You don't need to know that there was a part of that in all royal gardens because they needed the poisons to make the antidotes. If the antidotes could be made. So if you're looking for a specific thing, say this thing. And it sucks because there's always a little thing on the side going, look at me, aren't I interesting? And you're like, yes, you are interesting. Oh, and you lead to your interesting siblings.
Yeah, my most recent one was the looking up of all the Kennedy lands in Europe.
Yeah.
That family is well connected.
Yeah. Cat Paul has a good one. Define your question, search until you have just enough to write the scene, then go back and fact check self after. I like this. So it could be like a part of
Yeah.
your developmental edits or something. Um,
Just make it up. You don't need to do research. It's fine.
I make everything
I'm
up.
kidding.
Leave a note to editor self. Make it future editor self's problem.
Brackets are your friend.
Yeah. And the
Yes.
highlight thing. And
Make it red
comments and
letters,
notes. Yeah.
green letters, blue letters.
Yeah. Timers.
And then you'll be like editing your stuff. You'll be 80% through the book, and you'll say to yourself, "Wow, this one's pretty good. I don't have to change anything." And then there's a giant block of colored ink that says, "Fix this later." Oops.
Dread past self.
Well, see, the thing is when I'm in it, I can't do that when I'm zero drafting. I also have because I am a world building addict. Yes, hello, my name is Maggie. I'm addicted to world building. Relic of Time War. World building document is over 50,000 words. Shut up. I know it's too much. I always, when I first am zero drafting, I'm not allowed to research. The research that I have done, I'm not allowed to do it anymore. And also when I'm zero drafting on a computer, I change the ink color for every sprint. So it looks like a unicorn vomited on my zero draft. But that's how I track my productivity per sprint, per hour. But the thing is when you're researching something, how dependent on your plot is this thing? Because if it's something important like the pounds per metal ratio of a steam engine for your steampunk fiction, for your glass lamp fiction, if you get it wrong, you're changing it through the entire book. If you're not correctly calculating the theoretical mathematics of time travel, then you have to fix it through a 1.4 million word series. So there are things that you need to put more research on. There are things you need to put less research on. There are things that you can say, research for future me to do. The rabbit hole problem is because we like shiny things. We like endorphin hits. We like, ooh, that's interesting. All of us do that from the time we were itty bitty babies and picking stuff up and putting it in our mouth. And our mom's going, no, spit it out. This is our mindset. And I can guarantee you that Alzheimer's patients do this too, because I have worked with 80 and 90 years old with full onset Alzheimer's. Yeah. And they are just as curious as infants. Curiosity is a human trait. There's nothing to be ashamed of about it. But when you're stuck with a rabbit research, you need to research something, delegate the importance level of the item you're researching. That and a timer, that is the only way you will save yourself. That's the only way I can save myself, because I'll spend days.
And if you're like me and you forget to set a timer, I have 10 alarms per day. Are you okay?
My donuts stuck to the plate.
Oh,
my $5 donuts from Krispy Kremes.
But I have like 10 alarms per day, so that I can't get too far into a research rabbit hole. If I am researching, I hardly ever research because I make everything up. But it does help me remind myself to take care of myself, to eat, drink, and all that good stuff too. So that might be a good thing. My problem with researching is I start researching and I know I need to do this research, and then something pops up in that research and I get a new idea. So I go back to writing, or I go back to writing down this new idea. That's my problem with research, and that's the reason why I don't do it very often. I just prefer to make everything because I don't need any more ideas. But finding the strength to walk away from the research and actually do the writing is a lot sometimes, because procrastination, another thing. Exactly. Author who must not be named has a research document that's at least 50K for her 7. Yeah. So don't do what I did, please. This is a good reminder. Stroke Awareness Month. Be fast is the sign. So check for balance, check their eyes, check for sagginess or paleness in the face. Check their arms if they can hold them up, or the circulation by pressing on their fingernails. Speech if they have slurred speech, and time to call. You have to be fast in order to get them to safety and get them the care that they need.
Yep.
For all this.
I got lucky that I did not end up dead.
Yeah.
Also, one-sided headaches, neck stiffness. I thought I had slept wrong, and then I had an allergy headache. I did not realize I was having a stroke. And I went to work at one job, and then I went to work at another post office. And then I drove all the way 30 miles to another town to a bank to get money for both of those. No memory of it. I know I did it because I had the bank slips, but yeah. Yeah. Even if you think you're having a stroke, if someone says to you, you need to go to the doctor,
do it,
because moms power through everything.
Yeah.
Yes.
And me powering through what I thought was the beginning of a migraine resulted in the end of my life as I knew it.
Yeah.
And don't wait because you're young and you think that, oh, it couldn't possibly happen to me, because my kid was, my kid 30, and had a mini stroke.
Eva's husband. Yes.
And for women, since we so often power through pain, if you have an indigestion feeling and it will not go away, and it's coupled with cold sweats or even hot sweats, or just a weird feeling when you breathe, that's a heart attack. Go to the hospital. Because that's
I've known several people that wound up, they went ahead and they called 911, even though they were completely able to do all of this stuff, because they recognized the signs, and it saved their life.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Call 911 and then get close to the door and lay down, what
CB said about confusion being a sign of a stroke. I thought it's also, you also get confused when you have halo migraines. And I literally had a customer at the first post office is like, are you sure you're not having a stroke or something? She said to me, are you sure you're not having a stroke? And if I had listened to Mrs. Thibodeau then and called 911 and gone to the hospital, I would not have the brain damage that I have now.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's and mine, the thing is I was zero risk. I was super healthy, and I threw a clot from a bruise that I had on my leg, and it was either the place where the mail cart hit me and had a bruise, or the goats. I got sandwiched between two goats deciding to be difficult. And
donuts and cookies, Mom. Y'all are making me hungry.
Yeah.
All the foodiness. It's lunchtime for you guys. It's brunch time for me.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make pancakes with cinnamon in them and vanilla.
All right. Do y'all want to? Yeah, there's a question about confusion. I think we've got all the questions done.
Well, I made the joke about how much do you have to rearrange your life for your pets?
Oh, yeah.
Do you have to rearrange your writing time for your pets?
Yeah. I mean,
I'm surprised this one hasn't gotten up yet, because it's time.
Well, as you've seen Shiley in and out of here repeatedly, they were fed this morning, but I didn't make their eggs, so they're
Usually my cat will jump up on the desk while I'm sitting here at the computer, but in the morning she likes to lay underneath the blanket, underneath my daughter's legs as she's sitting there on her bed. Like, she hides underneath the blanket and just sits there right behind her legs for hours.
I'm sorry, but I'm a terrible person. I know this, but this makes me want to giggle because of the conversation that we've had.
On a rabbit hole.
And then,
Agent Bunny and all of everybody's dad's home, so they're all in bed with dad.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're rain. The wind is crazy. Don't let it have your chili. Cat farts are as bad as Rottweiler farts. They really are.
This one, y'all have heard her snoring this whole time. I'm pretty sure. But whenever she gets hold of a mole every now and then, and whenever that happens, I can't be in the same room with her at all. It's terrible. She'll run everybody out of the house. All right. On that lovely note,
The flatulence of pets. This is where we're going to stop.
Yeah, y'all.
And they take us for walkies and change our kibble and open the door, and I want you to come outside and throw the ball for me because I'm bored.
And this is what you were made for, a human. Don't you know?
Yeah. If you're a servant and you know it, raise your hand. On that scent.
One of these times they're going to make videos like a scratch and sniff.
Oh, I'm so glad they don't have scratch and sniff videos. I listen to entirely too many real crime podcasts.
I watch too many animal documentaries. All right. So y'all want to do your outros, and then we'll let everybody go before we go off on another tangent.
I'm Mama Maggie Ward, independent author, stroke survivor, migraine overcomer. Happy Zombie Survival Awareness Month. You can get Cat Lady on sale right now. You can also go to my channel and listen to my #writer reading podcast, where I am reading the chapters of How to Become a Crazy Cat Lady to Survive the Zompocalypse. Barrow's famous fungus killed us all.
Oh, it's my turn. I'm Stephanie. I am working on You know what? I can't. I am so tired this morning, y'all. Like, it is not even funny.
I do that during my podcast, so I don't get accused of using AI, because why not?
Hey, my name is Stephanie, and I publish books under the name Kira Mendoza. Coming to you soon, and thanks for having me on here. The end. I'll be more coherent another time, I promise.
It's okay.
No, I lied. I won't be. I'll never be coherent on Breaking the Block. I'll never be coherent. I don't want to lie to you. I don't like lying to my friends.
All right, so I am Rachel D. Adams. I publish, we are creating our own little publishing company called Arcane Realms Press, my husband and I, and we have lots of stuff. So go to arcanerealmspress.com or racheldadams.com for more information on that, including author resources. So there is that.
All right. Everybody's links should be down in the description box. I did put a couple in the chat as well, websites and channels. And I just kind of want to highlight this right here because I wanted to put stickers on Regis's man boobies during a couple of the shows. And I'm now going to have to find scratch and sniff stickers to do that.
True story.
That was hilarious.
I didn't know they made sword oil and blood scratch.
Anyway, we will be back here Sunday. I still have to kind of check my schedule to see if it's going to be here on this channel or if one of my lovely co-hosts will be picking it up, because I am making a trip to Murphy to do some more stuff with the house and the items inside and all that good stuff. So just keep an eye out. We'll all make posts and all that good stuff. So yeah, and we'll go from there. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for enjoying the tangents. And one of these days, we might stay on topic, but I make no
Don't lie. Don't lie to your
Don't
friends.
lie to
Where's
Don't
the
be a
fun
liar.
in that?
Don't be a liar.
Bye, y'all.